Good evening. Ooh, it's cold, so I got. Let's see. Oh, wait. Every week it does this, and I don't know why. There we go.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, can you? Okay, hold on. Okay, I see myself, but I don't see you. Did I do something stupid?
I don't know. Every week, me and Instagram be beefing over how I let people on because it made me hit the accept button like 3 different times. I can see you.
Oh, I can't see you. So that's. Let me see. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with my camera. You want me to come out and try back
Oh,
again?
what? Yeah, do that.
Okay. All right. Let me try again. Oh Jesus. Okay.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Oh, wait. So why can't I request anybody to join? That's so weird. Here we go. Let's see if it'll do it that way.
What in the hell? Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, it's on. It's. I can see myself. I can't see you though. I don't know. I don't know what's going
That is
on, but
weird.
yeah.
It's,
Yeah. I wonder. No, that's stupid. Okay. No, it's not.
well, here, let's turn mine off and then see. Did it work that way?
No, I still only see me. Yours just have is like a black. It's just black up top. Like
That is
there's
so
nothing there.
weird. Well, that stinks. And I don't know what else to do. Like, because I turned my camera off. I don't know.
Let me see. Okay, no. Yeah, I don't know. What is this? Okay, I don't. Okay, I don't want to close it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I've never had this happen before. But me and Instagram, I don't know what be happening with Instagram Live.
Yeah, I see. I don't want to leave. I want you to not. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I guess I can only see myself here. I can't see you there. But I feel like when it replays or when it's playing, both of us are there. Because when I came out of it, I did like see us for a brief minute, like before I cut off. So maybe that's what's going on. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. Because I
But
can see you and me. So I don't know. I don't know.
okay. Well, hi.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to do this.
Me too. And thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Say what?
I said thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Of course. Because I want to say you are like the first author that I actually reached out to. Like when I started my TikTok book journey.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're the first author whose DMs I ever hopped in and was like, oh my God. So
Well,
this is
thank you. I appreciate that.
thank you for being open and responding. I'm really excited.
Sure. Of course.
So let's jump in. Introduce
Okay.
yourself to everyone who is here.
Okay. I am JB Vample. I am the author of 10 novels, including Right as Rain, which I know we're mostly talking about today. um, I have a 9-book fiction series called the College Life series. That's my first body of work. And that series follows 5 young Black women on their journey through college. And then I have Right as Rain, which is my first romance novel that came out in 2022. Friends and Lovers novel that I love very, very much. I've been writing since I was a child. I started my series when I was 17 years old. I was still in high school, and I published my first book of the series in 2015. And between 2015 and 2022, I released 10 books and just finished writing another one and starting another one.
Oh, I'm so excited for this new one.
Thank you.
Okay. So you said you started writing as early as 15. How did you get started? Like, what was it about writing that kind of like drew you into that?
Well, I was writing since I think I wrote my first, I want to say my first short story in middle school. So I started writing young. It was really just a hobby of mine. It wasn't anything at that age that I saw as being a career for me. It was just something I always loved to do. I love to just create characters. I always had an overactive imagination, I'd say. So I always came up with stories and scenarios and a bunch of other crap. So me writing was just like something that I love to do. I love to pull the stories from my head and put them on paper. It was just a love I had for it. It was a way for me also to express myself, because not only did I write short stories at the time, and I wrote poetry, which I wrote a lot of times when I was in the best of moods, especially during my teenage years. So I wrote poetry, I journaled a lot, and all of that is just this writing. It was just something that I love. Now I started my series, my college life series at 17. I was in high school, and I came up with that concept because I was getting ready to graduate that year and go to college. And I just got this idea, kind of had this idea of what my college experience could possibly be like. It was nothing like the series, but that's how I kind of came up with the concept of the story and just started writing it from there. Yeah. So, like I said, it's just really just something I've always loved to do. It was a hobby of mine. It was kind of part of who I am. Like, if I don't write something down, it's just stuck in my head and it's not good. So it's just a part of who I am. And I decided in 2015 to finally take what I love and do something with it. And that's when I decided to really like take my craft seriously and publish my work. So, yeah.
Was there a defining moment or like something that happened that made you take that leap to go ahead and publish, or was it just
yes. I was in a job, and I didn't like the job. So I came to a point, kind of like a career crossroads, where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do career-wise for some time. And I kept thinking about, doing, design and all this other stuff. And everything that kept coming back to me was writing. It's like it sounds weird, but I had like an internal conversation with myself. I had these books. I had a couple of books written of the College Life series already, which at the time I was just really writing it for myself. So I had those books written, and writing, again, was something I always loved to do. So in my mind, I'm like, why don't you just do that? You have this story idea. You have this talent for reels, for storytelling. You love to do it. It brings you joy. Just do it. And I made a promise to myself. I think I came to that decision in the beginning of 2015. And I made a promise to myself that by the end of the year, I would have my first book published. And I did it. In December 2015, I released my first book. So that's really what drove me to it. That crossroads I came to in my life is what I wanted to do career-wise. And that's what I decided to do.
Okay. I heard you mention earlier about like your characters talking to you. So with your writing process, is it you following the lead of your characters? I know I've seen a lot of your TikTok videos about them talking to you and you having to like rework things.
Yes. That's really pretty much how it is. I have my stories come to me by way of like a movie playing in my mind. So really when I'm sitting down and writing, I'm writing what I see in my head and converting it to paper. Now there are times where I want to try to sway the story a certain way. And again, if you're not a writer, it sounds crazy, but the characters always sways it the way they want. So yeah, it is. It's a lot of scenes and everything in my mind, and I really just follow along, like just follow what I'm seeing in my head. So yeah, the characters really do run their mouth all the time in my mind. Yeah.
Do you have characters that like wake you up in the middle of the night too? I know when I did Kenan last week, she said she has some that will wake her up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. She has to get.
Yes, that is true, and it's so and just speaking of that, Writer's Reign did that. The story concept did that. I was actually in the middle of in the process of redrafting the final book of my College Life series because it was going to editing. Now, I never anticipated on writing Writer's Reign. That's a story concept that kind of just came to me out of nowhere. And when I say out of nowhere, out of nowhere. And one night, it kept the whole thing played, like scene by scene in my head. And it kept me up until about, I want to say 5 o'clock in the morning. I could not sleep at all. And I had to get up for work at 6. So that, I was very cranky, but I knew then that I had to stop what I was doing with the other book and write this one because these characters would not shut up. It was so intense in my mind that I had to write it. So yeah. That's a true thing that happens to writers. They will wake you up. They will keep you up, and it's just something like we have to get it out, or it's gonna be a mess.
Have you ever had the issue where like you have a word count in your head, but they go over, or like you have to try to stop them and be like, "Hey, listen, like
Well,
we gotta wrap this up."
yeah, I never have a set word count.
Okay.
I never, because it never, that's why I don't plot. I kind of pants my way through books because it never works out the way I anticipate. I say that I'll try to keep it, at 100K. Usually my books are, um, I would say maybe the goal is 100K, at least 100K. I'll say that. But I really don't have a word count. It's just, I'm hoping that's not too too high. But I'm someone who writes. I write until I feel like the story is finished, which is why I don't stick to a word count. Because if I feel like the story is finished at 80K, if I'm satisfied with it, then cool. But if the story hits 140, 650, that's cool too. As long as the story is, how I want it, I'm cool with it. I think Writer's Reign came in at 100 and maybe 50,000, and this current my 11th book, which I'm was working on now, that came in like 146 and thousand words, and then the last two books in my college life series both came in at over 200,000 words.
That's
so,
it.
Yeah,
I saw you post a video with those are thick.
Yeah, though they're very thick. That and I definitely didn't anticipate that. I definitely no. When I was done, I'm like, "Are you serious?" But it was everything. I mean, I love the books. I love the books. I'm not complaining, but when you're writing it and then when you're going through edits, when you're going through edits with all the words, it's it's annoying. But I'm very satisfied with the finished product. So I just write until the book is done.
So what does your process look like? Like from start to finish, like you do the first draft,
Mm-hmm.
and then like for you, how does that work?
So I start writing, and I kind of, like I said, I kind of pants my way through. So I'm seeing bits and pieces of scenes in my head. I'm just sitting down and I'm writing. When I get to a certain point, it's not even halfway point. It could be like a chapter or two, maybe 3 chapters. Then I'll stop. I'll go back. I'll revise. Because as I'm revising, new things come up, new ideas come up. So it's really just sitting down, writing, stopping, going back, revise, writing some more, going further, stop, go back and revise, and keep the process until the first draft is finished. Once the first draft is finished, I go back and revise the entire draft, let it sit, and then I go back for another couple of drafts before I even send it to editing. Okay. Because every time I step away or every time I finish a draft, something goes back. Like when I go back, something else changes. Something, more dialogue comes to me. Another, shift in the storyline comes to me. So it's really just, again, writing until I'm satisfied with how the story is. Plotting probably would help, but it's a waste of time for me. It really is a waste of time for me. Things change so much. It's just a waste of paper for me.
What was like? How different was writing Writer's Reign versus your college life series?
Oh, well, first of all, the college life series was spread out over 9 books. So the character storylines and development was spread out over 9 books. Writer's Reign is a standalone. So I had to start the story and complete it in a strong way and do it all in one book. That was new for me. I'm very satisfied with how I did it, but that was one of the challenges. Going from writing a series to writing a standalone and then having it be like a complete satisfying book in one book, without people asking me where a sequel is. So that, the fact that the characters in Writer's Reign are already like established adults, again, from writing a teen or a new adult series where it's like a coming of age, so they're growing and developing from teens to adulthood. Writer's Reign characters are already established adults in their 30s. So that's a whole different, way of writing the story and telling the story and, different characters. And then also the sex scenes. I mean, they're not erotica level, but they are more detailed than what I wrote in a teen series or a new adult series, I should say. So those were the challenges I faced with Writer's Reign. But they were welcome challenges because that writing this book allowed me to grow more as a writer and step out of the new adult teen genre into adult writing, romance genre. So those were a couple of challenges I faced. But overall, I love the book and I enjoy writing it, and I read it so many times because I loved it just that much.
That leads me to my next question. How long after you publish do you reread like through the eyes of a reader?
At least a year. At least a year. Yeah, because I've read the book so much, but when I go back and edit and read and everything like that before it's published, I do read from the eyes of a reader and from the author. But if I were to go back, probably like a month after, I will still have author eyes. So I will still say, oh, well, maybe I can do. No, you can't do nothing. It's published. Like, leave it alone. It's good. Leave it alone. So it takes me about a year.
Yeah.
I have not. It's time for me to reread Writer's Rain. I'm excited to do that. I haven't done it yet because I've been writing these other books, but I will go back to read that because now it's time to do that, and I miss reading the book. For the series, it took me, over a year since book 9, but a longer time from book 1. But yeah, it takes me time. It takes me time because I don't want to feel like if I go back too soon that I feel like I want to start picking things apart and changing things. I need to read it direct as a reader because I write these books for myself too. Like I'm writing the stories that I want to see, the books that I want to read, and I'm coming from a reader standpoint too. But I need to put author all the way out of it before I go back to it.
With the series, did you read you read it all the way through like years
Yes.
later? Yeah.
Yep. I think it was maybe last year. I want to say last year. I actually sat down and I started from beginning, and I went all the way through one book after the other, and it just reevaluated how much I love the series. It really did. Like I read it, and I'm like, of course, like from book 1 through book 9, it's like, okay, book 1 I probably could have did a little bit, but at the time when I released it, I was 100% satisfied with it. But that's what happens when you grow with an author. Your first work, you're like, okay, maybe I could have worded that a little bit differently, whatever. But by the time, it's been out for so long, and by the time I went back and read it, I'm like, it's fine how it is. But, just reading this series in this entirety and just watching how the characters grew from the beginning to the end, it made me proud as the writer. Even though I wasn't reading from author eyes, but as the writer of the series, I was very proud of it. And yeah, I loved it as if I didn't write it, to be honest, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I can see that. Good. All right, let's talk about my book.
Okay.
So if you'd like to give the people an overview of Writer's Rain, because I know there are some people that have not read it.
Yeah. Okay. So Writer's Rain is a friends and lovers romance. It's about a woman named Rain Price. She's a woman in her 30s, Black woman in her 30s. And Rain is someone who on the outside has her life together. She has a career that she loves. She has a family, friends. She's about to buy a home. So on the outside, she's pulled up and together. But on the inside, it's a different story. Rain is someone who suppresses her feelings and emotions, and she journals as a way of coping with those. But she's faced with the betrayal in her life, and it forces her to not only face all those emotions head on, but it forces her to reevaluate relationships in her personal life, including one between herself and her best friend's brother, Chase Williams, which is a man a long time ago Rain convinced herself that she couldn't be with. So this is like I sometimes say it's like romance kind of mixed with women's fiction, because it not only is it talking about the romance between the female and the main characters, but also deals with the family, the importance of a strong family dynamic and real friendships, dealing with toxic relationships and frenemies, and also personal growth on top of all the romance. So yeah, that's what Writer's Rain is about.
I will say that you balanced it really well.
Thank you.
It didn't feel like it heavily leaned toward either side, or like one aspect was lacking whereas the other one took over. Like it was beautifully done. I love that book.
I know. Thank you. That's first of all, before we even get to the book, I want to say thank you, because I do see that you do promote it quite often. So I want to say that I do appreciate you doing it. I really, really do. And I'm glad that you love it. I'm very happy about that.
Because I was telling somebody, I was like, it's the first book that I got a rec off of TikTok and physically went and bought. I was like, yes, I need that. Like everything leading to it, I was like, yeah, I need to buy that. And I bought it. Fell in love with the characters. Rain, I love Rain, and we all know how I feel about that lady. How was that?
Me too.
Having her in your head and her telling like her version of events and her pieces of the story. What was that like? Because I can't imagine.
Well, writing for Marcy?
Yes.
Well, I hate Marcy. Let's just put that out there.
Really?
I hate her with a passion, but she is a necessary part of the story, and she is a very good antagonist. I will say that. She's a great antagonist. She's probably, Troy is trifling too, but she's even worse because she
He was right
But
to
um,
me. Because how dare
yeah.
you? Like, looked in this girl's face for it's probably years. And
Hmm.
listen,
Sat there and just basically bragged to her face without her knowing
legit.
what you were doing. Like that's crazy. But it gave me some, even though in the beginning when I was writing for her, I'm like, oh, I can't stand this. I can't stand this. Oh my God. But in writing the story, kind of writing her and Troy's kind of downfall
Mm-hmm.
was satisfying to me because
But
it was very, and I was asked that one time, a reader asked me, why did you, ask me why I guess I've had it, Marcy and Troy didn't take up too many scenes in the book,
they didn't.
but they did have a couple of their own scenes. And I was
Mm-hmm.
asked by someone if I liked her because I put her in a couple of scenes. I'm like, no, I don't like her. I don't like that
No.
girl. But for me, my logic was as I was writing the progression and everything, of Rain and Chase and what was going on with them,
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to document the downfall of Marcy and Troy because they deserve it.
They
They
so much.
so deserve it. So I want you to see this girl, this fool here that thought that she had a one up on Rain because she got her raggedy prize, what she considered was a prize. I want you to see her lose all that. And so she was left with a puddle of crying and tears in the end. I
Literally.
want you to see that. So that was my logic for adding those scenes with Marcy and Troy in it to show that the dissolution of their relationship. Absolutely.
I think it was necessary. I think as much because you like when I say you made us hate that
Yes.
woman, like you made us hate. So seeing her downfall, I think was utterly necessary. Now I will say, I feel like she made it further in that book without getting beat up than she probably should have.
Well,
But
you know what? Yes, she
yeah,
did. Yes, she did. And the thing about it is, I understand. Like from the outside looking in, it's kind of like life. Where you don't see things that are in front of you right then and there. Hindsight is always 2020. That's why in the story, after everything happened, and Rain was kind of like she was like distraught. She was like, I feel stupid because I should have seen it. But when you trust somebody, you're not looking for it because you don't ever think that somebody that you love and trust is going to do that to you. It's only after it happens that you go back and say, you know what, there was a sign there, that was a sign there, that was a sign there, but you're not seeing it what's right in front of your face. And that's realistic because it happens. It happens. But yeah, when she got caught, the one thing I love about that scene that happened, and also Rain, is when she caught them, she did not hesitate to jump on her.
did not.
She did not she didn't it was no why. It was just she threw that lamp at Troy and she jumped on Marcy, and that's no hesitation.
As she should have.
As she
As
should have.
she should have. And it's
Rain, she may not be able to, express herself, at that moment, like one should, but there's reasons for that. But she's no punk.
was
So
not. And I
no.
love that.
Hmm.
But I also loved that. Well, no, I like that Troy got beat up too. That was great.
Oh hell yeah. Oh, he had that coming too. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, I enjoy writing it very much. Like the nerve, just the nerve of him too. Like y'all just ill. Ew.
And then you try to come back, like after you've done all of this.
Yeah.
Like, leave her. Sit
Mm-hmm.
flourishing and thriving. Leave her alone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I made a mistake. Don't nobody care about that.
No, we don't.
Don't nobody cares about that. Like you should have realized that before you did what you did. But
Exactly.
you was jumping around like you did something. Oh, we wasn't supposed. We didn't mean for this to happen. Like, mm-mm. And now you see she's happy, or even at that time he didn't know she was dealing with Chase. But so what? You want to come back because now you're miserable. That was your prize too, right? Now you're miserable, and now you want to come back. No, there is no comeback. No, you lost. You
Because you out here
lost the
doing
bet.
bare minimum for Rain, but buying Marcy bags and taking her on trips and all this other stuff. Like,
Right.
we're good.
Like, and then the bags the bag he bought Rain wasn't like you didn't even know your woman and
Nope.
know her style. You wasn't even paying attention to her. Like you bought her that bag, she's appreciative of it, but that's not her style. And then you buy her a bigger one, and then little dummy over here because she got a pair of shoes and a bag and a trip that actually was supposed to be Rain's trip with him, because what happened with her dad, she couldn't go, so you go as freaking second best, and
And
you
you just
think that
living Just so
Yeah, you
happy.
think that's, huh?
I said, just so happy, just living it up.
Yeah,
But
just
damn,
living it up. Just living it up. And my thing is, and Marcy, like, you go from Chase to Troy? That,
like
that was what you wanted?
exactly.
Okay. You
And
got him, girl.
because Rain got him and Rain happy. Like,
Yeah.
be for real. Be so for real.
Yeah. And then she tried to slide back to Chase too. No, we're not doing
Girl,
that.
we're good over here, sis.
Mm-mm.
We're
Mm-mm. Ain't got time for that.
it might be time
I
for me
hate
to
her. Huh?
I said it might be time for me to read that book. I think that's what we're coming up on.
Yeah, because ah, if that ever got, well, when I speak things, so when it ever gets turned into a movie, like I would, oh man, whoever
Listen,
plays Marcy gonna get a lot of backlash.
I mean, it can't be their first role, cause
No,
no,
no, because she was just despicable. And the thing is, like, Ava, Rain's actual best friend, saw it. Like, she saw. Now she didn't
early.
see that, but she saw Marcy really for who she really was. You know, but Rain had a good heart,
Did
and she was like, yeah, she's a mess, but like,
my
she's
friend?
misunderstood and all those. I mean, Rain has a good heart, and there are people like that as well who have good hearts. And again, they don't think, they may see what you may do to other people, but in their mind, it's like, you're never gonna do something like that to me. Like, you want to, not me. But Marcy didn't care about anybody but herself.
Literally, really nobody.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see she's on my list of top 4 despicable book characters?
You said
She's on
what?
my list of top 4 despicable book characters.
Well, you know what? As the author of that book, I'm very happy to hear that. I'm so happy that one of my characters has made that list.
For
That means I did my job.
literally, and we're almost at a year ago that I read that book. So yeah,
Yeah, I did my job.
really.
She's a mess. I can't. And she's even worse than, and I have antagonists, in my college life series, but that girl, oh no. No, she's the worst.
See,
Yeah.
you can't get much worse than that because not. It's the fact that you went and sat with this girl, asked her about this man,
Yep.
like in her face, all of this,
Yep.
for months to years,
Yep.
and then it's crazy
Turn
because she
around
tried
with
to
that.
run again later, like at the end of the book. Like, man, why would I be your friend?
Yeah, it's like, and she hit rock bottom. Her hit rock
Mm-hmm.
bottom made her realize, oh my God, I miss my friend. No, no. And I had somebody ask me one time, or mentioned that they wish that, not that they wish that, but they kind of hope that Rain would have forgiven her. I said, Rain
I
didn't
don't.
need to. And it was like, oh, people say forgiveness is more for you. Rain didn't need to forgive Marcy to move on to be happy. She was
Didn't.
already happy. She didn't need that. The forgiveness would have been for Marcy, not Rain.
Mm-hmm. And that's
And
when she
Rain
was like,
wasn't going to get that to her.
and I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I do not blame her.
Sometimes in life it's okay not to forgive someone. It's not going to do you harm to not, especially being that despicable. Please, like, I
Because
don't
you
think
went out of
so.
your way. You went
Yeah.
out of your way to do things to me.
Yes. Yes. Out of your way, and then bragged about it, and then you come into the gym with a busted eye in the face because she tore you up. You didn't want to come in and still try to plead your case, and when she was not receptive to you, then you want to just get nasty and like, well, I wasn't, when I was doing this and he was doing that, and I didn't need to ask you how he was, I bet I already knew. And Ryan's like, did you not remember the faking orgasm conversation we had? Like, enjoy.
Please keep him. Why? Like, why are we even
Enjoy,
here?
child. Please.
Because, whew, I would say bless her heart. Well, no, I'm telling. I can say that because that can mean a lot of things. Bless her heart.
Yeah.
Bless her
You're gonna do
heart.
something. Because that's it. That's it. Then after that, you have no remorse. Like, there
No,
was no remorse for you. And the only reason why you felt like put on the front that you have remorse is because you were at rock bottom.
mm-hmm. And you
And
needed a
nobody
friend.
cared.
And you thought it was gonna be Rain because her heart was so kind. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
That's the thing about kind-hearted people. They're happy to be kind, but once you cross them, it's not getting back to that. It's not. I'm one of them.
Because my thing is, like, I give you so much. Like, why would you even? Why?
Like, why would you do that? Why would you do
Like,
that? So, no. There's no going back from that.
I'm good. Thanks. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I'm good. Have a good life or don't. I don't care.
I mean, honestly,
I don't know.
we're good on it.
You have to forgive me. No, she doesn't. She's already happy without forgiving you. So, go ahead.
And I could have forgiven you in my mind. Just that don't mean I'm going to tell you I forgave you.
Yeah,
You live with it over there.
yeah, and that's the thing. Marcy need to live with that. You
Mm-hmm.
can't. You're not going to be able to look yourself in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm okay with me. No, you're not. You're
No.
not. 'Cause you did all that for what? That's why I also was happy to write when Ava kind of read her too, when they ran into each other. She was like, you did all that for this fool, for a bag, some shoes, and a dumb trip. You did all that nonsense. Look at you.
Her bar was in hell. Because, baby, a bag, some shoes, and a trip that wasn't even supposed to be yours.
Right.
Now you don't lost your best friend.
Yep. You lost your best friend. You lost a good dude. Well, Chase was up with her anyway. Like, Chase was just like, he was trying to be a gentleman. Like, he was trying to be good about it. Because, like, they had their understanding of who they were to each other, Marcy and Chase. But, like, you come with this nonsense because Troy got a bag for Rain. And so you want to come to Chase where I want to go. I want to do this. I want to do that. He's like, I'm not doing all that. Not for you. Like, you're not my wife. Like, you're not my...
You're not even who I want to be.
So,
For real. So, like, let's
Facts. Facts. And she cheated on him for what? What did I say? They were together for 2 years. What, a year and a half, I'm going to say? Maybe? Yeah, I got to go back and read that because I want to say, I think a year and a half.
I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah, a year and a half, I think.
That sounds right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to read this. Yeah. So I have not gotten fully into your college life series. So let's talk about that. Like, tell me about that.
So this series is a character-driven series. It follows 5 young Black girls, Chastity, Malaysia, Alex, Emily, and Sidra. And it basically follows their journey through college. It's a lot of drama. Like, it's a lot of drama in the series. I put these characters through a lot of stuff. But it's also mixed with a lot of humor. Like, this is college. Should be a fun time. But so it's like a lot of drama, a lot of laugh out loud moments, but it's a lot of realistic situations. Sometimes the situations throughout the series get very serious.
Mm-hmm.
I touch on teenage alcoholism. I touch on abuse in some cases. I touch on unplanned pregnancies. I touch on a lot of different things in this series. Also dealing with the problems with home. So it basically outlines the characters' lives both on and off campus. That's kind of why I named it college life, because it's not just dealing with them in college. It's their life on and off campus as a whole. And basically through each book, the characters go through a series of events that start to change and shape them into the adults that they become throughout the end of the series. So like I said, I put them through a lot. It's a lot of drama in the book. I've gotten some very, very nice, funny DMs. Like, it's never anything serious. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe you. And I can't believe you ended the book that way. Yeah, I did. Yeah. But it's a fun series, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on this series thus far. I'm still reaching new audiences for the series. And when I tell you that my readers, my fans of these series want to see a TV show as bad as I do,
because I could see it
for these characters, yeah, they want to see these characters on screen as much as I do.
I could see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with this series, I'm just curious. Like, you did all 4 of them. Why was it that instead of giving each one of them their individual book to do their individual story?
I just don't write like that. Like, I mean, because I know that there are a lot of books that do like certain character point of views to each chapter, and I've never been that type of writer. Like, I've always just had everything kind of third, like I'm a third person teller, and I just kind of let the story unfold as in its entirety. When I saw the for the series, I didn't see it as like one book to each character, to each, because it basically would be a lot of retelling of the same thing. So these are roommates. They start, they're split off into roommates when they first start. So it was like a lot. It would have been a lot of retelling of the same situation, just from different points of view and angles. And I'm like, that for me in the series and the way I saw it, I just didn't see it that way. So the way I wrote it was just like a TV show, like just watch a TV show unfold or watch a series unfold, like that. And like I said, I just don't see myself writing that way. Not for me anyway. I just never been that type of writer. Even like writing in first person. Those who do it, I've read first person books that are very good. But those who do it, I commend you for that, because I'm like, I've always been a third person writer, like writing a third person point of view, and that's just how I saw the series.
Yeah. Is there anything you can tell us about your work in progress? And by us, I really mean me. I don't know.
Okay. So the 11th book that I finished editing, proofing this past weekend, it is another romance. This is a strangers to lovers romance, which is, besides friends to lovers, it's another one of my favorite tropes. So it's a strangers to lovers romance. It is drama. It's romance flourish. I mean, courtship flourishes into romance. It is drama. It deals with the past trauma of the FMC. It just, I don't want to go into too many details. I'm not really going to yet. But it is another romance. Of course, black, don't be all black characters. Another black romance novel, strangers to lovers. And I don't want to say too much right now, so I'll really stop promoting it. But it's another book that I absolutely love, and I have been told by my beta readers that as much as they love the series and as much as they love Writer's Reign, that they feel like this is my one right here. So that's nice to hear.
Ooh. If that's what they're saying, I cannot wait.
That's what they said. I'm like, really? Like, I think this is your one right here. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. But yeah, so I hope to know maybe by like January exactly the trajectory I'm going with publishing with this. But either way, it's coming out. I'm just not sure when yet. That's why I really haven't said too much.
Yeah.
Because when I announce, like when I get a cover and I announce the release date, that's when I really start pushing and promoting it. But like I do like little things here and there when I talk on my TikToks, when I talk about kind of little scenarios or whatever. But yeah, it is another romance that I'm very, very proud of, and that I feel like everybody's gonna love. So that's what I can give you right now. But as soon as I know more information and have something more definite, of course, I'll be promoting it every day on day.
I'll take the tropes.
Okay.
But I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm still gonna jump into your college life series. But one thing, I kind of want to read it with my niece because she's in college now. She's coming up on the end of her freshman year.
Okay.
So I kind of like buddy read it with her. So I just got to convince her to read it.
Nice.
She used to be a reader, so.
Yeah, and the thing I love about the series and their characters is that at least I would say most of my readers can identify with at least one of them, because all the girls they're so different in personality and upbringing, but and their friendships can get a little complicated. When you from book one, these are not. I mean, they as their friendship grows and they become closer, things at serious moments, they do get sentimental with each other, but it's a lot of it's a lot of snarkiness and it's like not a traditional friendship, but they do grow into be really close, like family. So I will say that. So when you read the first book, it's gonna be a lot of cussing outs and a lot of snippiness, and you're probably like, these girls ain't friends. Not yet, no.
But it's freshman year. That's what it was. It was trying to figure out who these new people are, trying to figure out where I fit in with these people. Like it was snarkiness, it was curse outs, it was all of that.
Absolutely. And then you have people who come from different backgrounds, upbringings, and they're bringing baggage from their life, like their upbringing, to school. And let's say for instance, one of the main characters, Chastity, she has had a difficult upbringing. She is wealthy, and she has the looks and everything like that. So people think, she has it all, but it's like, no, she came from a difficult background. So she's coming with all that trauma and anger and walls built up. She's coming with that to school. So you get put with a roommate who was like, you know, real uppity and whatever. And it's just like, so it's a lot of cussing out. But, you know, ultimately, these girls, even with all their differences and differences of upbringing, the backgrounds, they come together and end up very close. But again, I put them through a lot of stuff individually and as a group. And it's just, so it has the 5 Black female main characters, then it has 4 supporting male characters in the books too. So I kind of detailed that they're part of their story. They have their own things that unfold within the books too. So it's a lot. I have a lot of characters in this in this series. But one of the compliments I've gotten about this series is that even though I have so many main characters, people don't get them confused. It's easy to follow them because they're so different. So it's not like they don't get them confused with anybody else. They're their own, you know, their own people. So then I have the, you know, we have the supporting. We have the background characters. We have family members. We have teachers. We have others. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm very proud of the series, and I hope once you do start reading it that you do enjoy it. It is different from, you know, of course, because reading, I would say, new adult going, you know, I know you're a romance reader. So reading, you know, going from romance and reading a new adult series may be, you know, different for you. But yeah,
very different.
Yeah, it is. You know, everybody has their certain genres that their go-to genres, and that's perfectly fine. There are people who, you know, love the series that may not, you know, not like, but Red Writer's Rain. It's like, okay, well, I like it, but it's like I love the series. So people who read Writer's Rain who may read the series, it's like, okay, I love the series, is cool, but like I love Writer's Rain because they're 2 different genres and 2 different ways of, you know, there's 2 different characters and you know all that stuff. So yeah, but when you do read it, I hope you do enjoy it a little bit.
The series is the College Life series.
Yes.
It is 4? No. How many books is it?
It's 9.
9?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, now I feel like I'm missing some on Amazon. I gotta go look. Because I don't. But yeah, so it's 9 books.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because you write really well. Because when I say again, I fell in love with Writer's Rain. It was one of the ones last year that I know I couldn't put down. And
thank you. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. I'm very flattered. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. To be told, like as a writer, for me, again, I write the books that I like, the stories that I want to see, that I want to tell. Mm-hmm. And you do your best as a writer to put your best foot forward. You really do. So it's a really wonderful experience and a feeling when someone tells you that you did a great job with your story or that you're a great storyteller. Because like you want, like as a writer, you want people to like your books. You don't expect everybody to love them. That's just reality. Yeah. Like not everybody's gonna like what you read. Like when you come into this industry, when you decide to publish a book, you have to know that, and you can't take it personal when people don't. It's just not their cup of tea, and that's fine. But you know, to be told that it's, you know, thank you. So, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
She does have a catalog. It is the 10 College Life series books and then Writer's Rain.
9.
And then Writer's Rain is on your TBR. Me and numbers.
That's okay. I have 10 books total. Yeah.
There we go. 10 total. 9 are the College Life series. 10 is Writer's Rain.
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if it's on your TBR, let me know when you want to read it because I will happily buddy read it with you. I will happily buddy read it with you. Can you see the comments since you can't see me?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Okay, I do see. Do you have a cat? I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. I see him scrolling through, but yes. But she's right. Yes. To answer your question, she already answered it. Yes, I have 9 books. The College Life series is 9 books long, and 9 books to the series. And then my 10th book is Writer's Rain, which is my romance novel. So I have a catalog total of 10 books.
So just in case you need to see the cover again, this is Writer's Rain. She's thick.
Yes.
But worth every page.
Thank you.
Every single page.
Thank you.
All right. Before you go, we're going to play a game.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it is going to put you on the spot. You got to put your reader hat on too, though. So.
Okay.
So it's a word association. So I'm going to give you a word, and you have to give me a book with either the word in the title or a book that comes to mind when you hear the word. It can be one of yours. It can be something you've read.
I haven't read it, but I also work a long time. Okay, go ahead. What?
Well, we'll start easy. And then again, it can be from your catalog or it can be from somebody else.
Okay.
The first word is writing.
Oh, writing? Right is right.
I told you we'll start easy.
Okay.
So, and tell people why that book, just in case anybody came on late, so they didn't get to hear us start to talk about Right as Rain.
Oh, writing. Why I chose that title?
Why? No, like why Right as Rain is what came to your mind when I say writing.
Oh, because the FMC, the female main character protagonist, Rain, she's an editor, but she's also a writer as well. And she journals a lot. So when I think the first thing that came to mind was her, because she is a writer pretty much. And then also write and then write as Rain is the title. So that's but that's why it came to mind, because the Rain is an editor turned writer within the series. I mean, the book series.
Because I mean, if you want to give us another book in the series, I would love Ava's story personally. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I'm never opposed to it. It just has to come to me, because with Ava, I feel like I kind of wraps her up a little bit, but not really, because in the end, she got engaged. But I would have to think about what to do with Ava and her story and how that would transpire. I'm not opposed to it though. Like, I'm never opposed to going back and adding to it. Like, when I put it out, I knew it was going to be a standalone. Mm-hmm. But again, ideas come to me all the time, and story ideas come, and I'm just like, I said I wasn't doing any more of this, but if the characters are loud enough and they want their story told, then I guess I gotta do it. So I won't rule it out. I won't rule it out, but I'm not making any promises either.
Did that happen with college life, or like when you knew it was going to be that many books, like that long of a story?
So I knew in the beginning it was going to be 8. Now, so each book, why I sold so many books, each book, the first 8 books, each book tells the events of a semester. So we had the first 2 books 1 and 2 tell the events of the freshman year, so it's fall and spring semester, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't know I was going to write a 9th one. So the 9th book picks up 5 years after the characters graduate.
Okay.
When I first started, I didn't anticipate writing a 9th book. I decided to write a 9th book the year I put out College Life 101, the first book, because ultimately I was going to end book 8 with like a touch-in epilogue, like just kind of give a generalized overview of what the characters have been up to after graduation. But I'm like, I don't think, first of all, I feel like the readers who are really into College Life series would be like, no, we need to know what they're doing. We need to know who got married and what's going on. So I feel like at that time, I owed it to the characters, I owed it to my readers, and I owed it to myself to write the final book. And I also did not anticipate that daggone final book being that long either. And for me, did not even have in the plans to write that 9th book. For it to be the biggest book with the highest word count is hilarious.
Because how many pages did it end up being?
Formatted like 700 and something.
Yeah, I say it's huge.
Yeah, it's like, hold on, I can give you an actual. It's like 700 some pages to this book. This is just the sample that I have on the desk here, but yeah, see, this is this is 9, and 8 is just as thick, but 8 is has a bigger font, and I had the 7. Jesus Christ, 784 pages.
Jesus.
But I will say, it doesn't drag. Like, it's not like, oh my God, 700 some pages, it's dragging. No.
I learned my lesson.
It's not. It's not. I try my best to make sure that if it's going to be that thick, that it's worth it. And even after my readers have read the last book, I've gotten compliments that I wrapped the series up, that they're very satisfied with how I wrapped the series up, but they still wish there was more to the series. That's how much I love these characters. So,
Do you think there's ever gonna be more, or like that's it? It's done. Like there.
um, so okay. Initially, yes. Initially, I said I was going to be done with the series as far as writing is concerned because the characters they did their thing and it was time to let them go. However, somebody's child, um, somebody's child has been running their mouth, so I might write a spinoff, but it'll probably be one book. And I actually started it, but I started writing my current book 11, my 11th book. I started writing that, so that went on the back burner. But I probably was. I have plans to still write that, but I keep saying I'm not making any promises about continuing the story. But we'll see. Because I actually I started another book too, another romance book too, which was a second chance romance that I'm currently writing. It's like 10,000 words right now. I'm figuring out bits and pieces of that. So we'll see. Again, I'm not making any promises, but I'm not opposed. What can you do?
So what's the most books you've worked on at a time? Like what's the most like active work in progress you've had at a time?
Just two. I usually don't go beyond that. And usually it starts out like as maybe going back and forth, but then I ultimately just put one aside because then it starts to be too much in my mind. So then I put it aside and I focus on one. I started that teen book that I just mentioned. I started that, and then the concept for my current work in progress, my work in progress came to mind, and that overpowered that
I was gonna ask.
teenager. So I had to put that book to the side. So I have like 4 files of books that I started that, which is good because I mean I have something to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
I have something to go back to and do it. So I always have some kind of something to write,
Yeah.
something to write. What it is, I can't tell you, but it's always something to write. So yeah, so just two, but then ultimately becomes one because I'm not going to go back and forth between these. I need to put one aside.
Like, so do you decide which one gets put aside, or is it like whoever is the loudest in your
Whoever's
head
the
is
loudest,
like, all right.
whoever's the loudest decides which one gets put aside. That's why when I was like I mentioned before, Right as Rain was loud, and I had to put book 9 of the series aside and go back and write that and draft that. I drafted Right as Rain in about 4 months. It would have been 3, but I think one of the months there was a lot going on. I was traveling and all that stuff. So I drafted. That's probably the fastest draft I've done for Right as Rain. The very first draft took me 4 months.
So what is like your overall time, like from draft to publish? Like what is that like timeline wise? Typical from draft to publish. First draft to publish.
Like over a year.
A year.
Because for me, I have to go over the book multiple times, even after the first draft is done. I have to go over it, even before the first draft is done. Yeah. I've gone back to the book, like before I finish, I've gone back, stopped, gone back, written another couple chapters, going back and revised it, because it takes me, each time I go back, the story changes and things, I add things and I enhance things. So I want to make sure that I go through it enough times to where I'm completely satisfied with it. That's why I can't, for me, so far I have not, I can't put out books quickly because I take the time it takes me a lot to get to my finished product, because I want to make sure that what I put out is my absolute, it's truly the book that I want. And the second draft is never the first draft, especially the first draft. Oh my God. Like the second and third draft, even though the third draft is not where I want it. Before I even sent this, my 11th book to the editor, I redrafted it, like after the first draft was done, I redrafted it about 3 more times. I put it down. I put it aside for like a month because I was doing things in the summer. I put it aside for a month. When I picked it back up and I went back and revised it, I changed quite a bit of stuff. Quite a bit. And if I would have put it out at 3, it wouldn't be what it is now. So it takes me about at least a year because I want to give myself time to make sure that I'm putting out the exact book that I want. And sometimes even up to the last minute before I send it to editing, I'm adding something. Like the prologue for Writer's Reign. I went through that book. I reread that book. I lost count because that's how much I love the book. So I just kept rereading it and editing things. But I want to say the last time I revised that book before I went to editing, that's when I added that little prologue to it.
Yeah.
So there you go. It takes me at least a year.
So what was the timeline between book 9 of College Life and Writer's Reign? I feel like
I released College Life, the last book of College Life series in I think June of 2021.
Okay.
And then I released Writer's Reign in January of 2022. But I had Writer's Reign written before I released that book because I wrote Writer's Reign in 2020.
Okay.
And so I already had it written. I was just going through and revising it. So yeah, So that was Writer's Reign was already done, written by the time I released book 9 of the series. Okay. So yeah.
So is that typical for you? Like you'll have one already done as you're working on something else, or like did that one just kind of happen to?
No, that one actually kind of happened. To be honest, I didn't know what I was going to write after College Life series. Because that series and these characters were with me since I was 17 years old. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do without them. I don't know what else I'm going to write. Like, because stories have to come to me. It's like, I don't have an idea what I'm going to write next. I can say I'm going to write a mystery or something, but if I don't have the story, if it's not materialized in my head, it's not going to get written. Because, I can say it all day, but if it's not there, then it's not there. So the fact that Writer's Reign actually came to me like that was surprising. Very welcome. Not staying until 5 o'clock in the morning, but the idea was welcome. But I didn't even know I was going to write that. That was a shock to me that I actually wrote that. So yeah, but and even with this book, so it took me. So after I finished Writer's Reign, after I published, I did go on a writing break because I have been writing and publishing nonstop since 2015. Like I was book after book after book after book, and then so I'm like, I need a mental break. I released my book and I kind of just took a break. I reread my series again and I'm just trying to gather all these ideas. And I think about a year after that is when I picked up and started writing again. And that's when I started writing this,
new one.
My current work in progress. Mm-hmm. But that even went through a bunch of changes. That story changed. What I started out with is not what it is now. And that's why I can't really release a book quickly. I can't do it because
listen, take your time because
and I do.
You know where I am.
And I do. But the thing I love about my readers is they know. Like I had one of my readers who it's funny, like I really love her, but she would read a book and I think it like when I was in the College Life series I would put the next one and say this next title is coming soon. Mm-hmm. So she would read the book and then she would go and DM me and say, you said soon, so that means next month, right? Girl, no. You get next year. But they know that, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to release the book to the best of my abilities and the book that I love. So, I love the enthusiasm. Like I love when they say, so it's about time for you to release another book. I know, but ultimately they know I'm going to release it when it's ready. And, it's all in good fun. It's always been respectful and funny. And so, yeah. What is shining on me? I keep seeing a light like touching my face and I don't know what's going on, but.
I had to take my glasses off because my lights were hitting and I was like, oh my God,
yeah.
I'm blinded.
Yeah.
All right. So I got 2 more words for you. So the next one is young.
Young?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Don't think I'm just trying to pick my books, but
no, we started and you said you hadn't read nothing else about anybody else in a long time. So go ahead.
And that's not because not for lack of want, because I have books that I need to read, but I just with writing and everything, I just kind of stick to what I'm doing. But okay, young. I'm gonna associate it with the College Life series because these characters start out young. I'm starting them out as late teens, but teenagers, and they grow. So they start off young and they grow throughout the series. So that's why I associated that. Because I can't think of anything else. Yeah. So we're going to go with the College Life series, and that's my reason.
All right. So what's on your TBR?
So I have 7 days in June.
Okay.
That's on my TBR. I have a book by Kimberly Lawson Rowe. I don't want to leave like the camera and go to my bookshelf, but I have a book by her. I have a book by Rochelle Allers. I have the Many Dates of Indigo. I think that's
Love that book.
Yeah, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have it. It's on my TBR to read. I have that. I have a couple of what is it, Jasmine Gilroy? Is that her?
Yeah.
How you say her name? I have a couple of her books on my TBR, and that's all I can think of right now. I know I have a couple other ones, but I can't think right off the bat. But I have another book by Janae Harden. It's called Hey Brown Girl, I think. Yeah, that's the title. I have that from her on my TBR. So yeah, I'm eventually going to get to them because I love to read too. So not only I'm a writer, I love to read too. But again, with me, I used to read all the time. Like I used to be in the library and read all the time. But since I started, publishing, I just kind of stick to my own right now. Yeah. And another reason why I don't really read, especially in different genres, like I love romance, like black romance. I love that too. That's my favorite genre to read. But with writing romance, I kind of don't read books in that same genre until like I'm kind of done writing my own. And it's not, it's just like you don't want any, I call it background noise. Like you don't want to read something that's subconsciously, whatever. So I don't. So anything I've written is me and it's my my ideas. And that's just how I operate. I know that, writers, you read more to get better. I totally agree with that. But and I do, but it's like I don't typically read books in the same genre I'm writing until I'm finished writing them.
Yeah.
Like especially
you're not the first author that said that though.
Oh really? Okay.
A couple of the other authors were like they don't really read while they're writing because they don't want other people's work to filter into what it is that they're writing.
Exactly. And that's just how it is. Because it's like, it's not something that's intentional, but you never know what your mind picks up on, and that's not, I never know. So I just leave my TBR where it is, and I'll pick it up eventually. Now that I'm finished writing, the series, now you can't count A Different World because A Different World was out in the 80s, and so I watched Different World in high school and college and all that. So, but I didn't watch other college TV shows while I was, writing and publishing the College Life series for that same reason. So now that I'm done with it and it's out and it's published, then I'll go back and watch some shows. Yeah.
Oh, I got a rec for you, Jasmine Guillory. This is my not that one. This one. That lady has a whole shelf in my house. This is my favorite one out of all of her books.
What's the name? Because I still can't say it.
I forgot, and I'm just holding it up.
That's okay.
Drunk on Love.
You know what? I think I have that. Is it pink?
It's orangish.
No, I don't have that. I'm lying. I do have another one. It's pink. Yeah. So, okay. Drunk on Love? Okay, I got to add that to my TBR.
Wait, you can't read Wedding Party if you haven't read The Wedding Date. They go in order.
I have the wedding date. That's blue, right? Like greenish, bluish. No,
that's the proposal. The wedding date is red. Okay. The wedding date is red. The proposal is blue.
Okay.
And then it's Wedding Party.
Okay. All right, babe. Yeah, I do. You know what? And the thing is, like when I was in the bookstore, sometimes I pick up books based on like colors and like how pretty the cover is and stuff like that. So
I'm very much a cover.
Yeah, I do that. And so I know she has like a whole like a series, like a whole backlist series. So I definitely don't want to, because I think it was one book I picked, not by her, but somebody else, and I know they had 2 other books before it. I'm like, well, why did I get this one and didn't get the other? But the color, the cover was pretty, so I got it. But yeah, I definitely would have to start in order because I love a good series too, so I would definitely start in order with hers too.
And that one is, what is it? I think it's like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
She has 8 books to hers.
Oh, it's 6.
Oh, somebody somebody says stop, they don't have to be in order.
Ignore her because she doesn't believe in reading a series in order anyway. That's why I didn't say nothing. She doesn't believe in reading series in order. So
I get like when I'm at book events and stuff. I get when I'm at book events for my college life series, especially at colleges, because of the titles, kind of corresponding with college courses in the year. I get asked, oh, I'm a sophomore. Can I start with this book? I said, you can start with whatever book you want. However, I will say, because it's a series, I would always recommend starting with the first one because you get to know the characters and some of the storylines are starting to progress throughout the series. So you can do whatever you want. If you want to buy the ninth book, buy the ninth book. Thank you. But read author to reader and also a reader, I always recommend starting with the first book so you can kind of follow along with the story. But again, readers, you can do whatever the hell you want to do.
Jackie, she said start with the first book. Thank you very much. You said, all right. Is there anything else you'd like to share with some people here? Because I know 2 of my friends are on here, and I'm still trying to convince them to read Writer's Ring. So if there's anything you want to share about your catalog, your works.
So I will. What's that? I read a series, but okay. I'm just reading the comments.
Because
every reader has their own methods. And sometimes, the first book, because, especially if the first book is the first author's first work, again, authors, we grow as we continue writing and publishing. So, I mean, as a reader, you spending your money on the book, you can do whatever you want, darling, whatever you want to do. But yes, I'll just reiterate my catalog. I have 10. I just got a notification. I have 10 books out. A catalog of 10 books. I have a 9-book fiction series called the College Life series. That is a series that follows 5 young Black girls on their journey through college. It details their life both on and off campus. It's a lot of drama, a lot of laugh out loud moments. It's a very fun series, and it's got a lot of positive feedback. My 10th novel is Writer's Rain. That is my romance standalone. That is a Friends to Lovers romance novel. And I like to consider it, romance / women's fiction, because not only does it tell the story of, the romance between the FMC and the MMC, but it also deals with personal growth, the importance of a strong family dynamic, friendship, frenemies, toxic relationships, and all that in one. So I hope you enjoy whatever you decide to pick up from me. I will have more books coming out. I don't know when. I have another romance novel in the works. When I decide when to release it or when I find out when it's going to come out, I will definitely let you know. But yeah, I just write whatever genre comes to mind. So that's all I can say about my writing.
Well, thank you for joining me tonight.
Sure. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yes, it was. And you were my last interview until 2024.
Oh, well, I'm happy to close you out.
Me too. To be the first book that I really picked up off of social media to closing me out with this journey that I've been on for this year, I felt it was only right. So
I appreciate it. Yes, thank you so much. Okay. And again, I want to just thank you again for being this book's span and posting your videos. And I see your videos and I don't want to be that stalker. I don't know how sometimes how readers want their authors in their comments and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I see it. I'm like, oh, thank you. I may stitch a couple of them, but sometimes readers may why is this author in my face? I appreciate it. Thank you. I see them, and I want you to know that I do appreciate doing it, and I'm happy that you really enjoyed Writer's Rain, and I loved writing it, and I miss reading it, and I'm going to get back to it myself too.
I'm about to reread it, but all right. Well, thank you again, and have a good rest of your night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Lord.